In the last video, you just saw us fire up the car for the first time. That was only minutes ago for me. We just put the dash back in. It's only 2 bolts. And then the steering wheel takes 2 bolts. Yeah, that's really safe right there. And then we are ready to roll it outside and do some testing and tuning. Frustrating. All 4 rotors are firing in the correct order, but I can hear it stumbling. I can hear it hesitating a little bit. When I go to lock it to rotary timing, you know, to actually check dead on timing, it dies. That little divot in the line. Today is the day. I am terrified in the best of ways. The thoughts have been racing through my mind is that this is quite possibly the most important moment in the history of the channel. Yes, you've seen extreme changes in the vehicle. You've seen it go from not running to all-wheel drive. You've seen it go make 1,000 all-wheel drive horsepower. But this is the time where it's optimized and I'm the one tuning it. This is my monster and I have to control it. None of the map from before, none of the fueling, none of anything is reusable because of the changes that have been made really affect how much this thing can flow. Every change has meant more fuel. And I'm talking like on the low end, 50% more fuel. That's how insane of a difference this has made. We're gonna load it up, get it over to Lucky 7 and start thrashing it on the dyno. Okay, well maybe not thrashing it, but getting it tuned at the low end and then just adding boost and seeing what happens. Baby girl just made a cameo to help watch over me. We're gonna take some of the springs out of the wastegates so that way it runs at less boost. We're ready for more boost. We're also gonna fill this tank up to maximum, partially for cooling the pumps, not that they need that much more, and partially so we don't have to refuel over time. But as you guys saw on the previous dynos, we're talking about 1 gallon a pull, but we're gonna go ahead and mix in the 1-ethanols R. So we got actual race gas. We've swapped over from the non-synthetic with the awesome VR1 that we've been using over to now the Alien Blood synthetic version. And so I've cycled it through and that's been wonderful at this point. Just doing all the cross checks, making sure everything's good, but oh my God, it's really here. I still got quite a few gallons to go.
We need a bigger gas tank.
You gotta bless the bottle, bro.
Can you do that? I want to apologize to all of these houses at this moment because they're close to the freeway, so they should be used to normal noise, but not the level of noise that we're about to bring. We definitely have to stop at exactly 5 because I mean, look at these houses right here are a couple 100 feet from Lucky 7. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna let you guys know that now. So here we are. I'm gonna go walk over to Frizz before I get hit by the cars in the road. And I'm gonna go apologize ahead of time for what's about to happen. I love RX-7s. I love all generations of RX-7s. It's just a beautiful car. Hey! That's just beautiful. The plan of attack today is really just starting to understand the motor's characteristics all over, but that should actually happen pretty quickly. Just like the rotary vet, it's only a couple minutes to really see where it likes to be. Then I'll let the car cool down again, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be focusing on the map. We'll start doing baby power pulls, stop, reassess, look at the logs, let the car cool down, even though it's not gonna really be that hot. It's really more so for your own mentality. Focus. And not just, oh, hey, everything looks good. That's how you run into problems. Isaiah, Dave will be here soon. All the guys will just kind of sit here and say, does it seem like it makes sense? Okay, we'll go for more power. Isaiah's getting the glass window to go down so that way I don't die in here.
Loosen that side up. Can you tighten with this side and pull it this way?
We just had the car fired up and making sure it was going to square up on the dyno. So that way all the straps are good. That was just a quick little test. Now it's aligned. I'll go ahead and plug in my laptop power, and we're going to go ahead and just more so watching the car when it has some load. It's not going to look crazy, but this is some of the most important work right now, is just simply having it rolling, maybe go to second gear and just establish the engine's happiness. She's rubbing, so I can smell the tires burning a little bit, and she's running a little lean. So I'm gonna add more fuel to the map until she warms up a little bit more. Hey. There's the problem yet again, trying to be safe by locking it down even more, and it's rubbing instantly.
Back at it again?
That's right.
You want that Mexi flush or?
I want hella flush. Cutting the fenders isn't enough because the inside of the original stock FD is also rubbing the metal. We are going really strong on holding the car down for all the obvious reasons, but we're actually going to raise the suspension up with the coilovers and then torque it back down with the rear, so that way it holds it in tight, but it's higher. I just was able to get up to about 5,000 RPM, and she's coming alive. Now, I'm gonna have to tune some EGTs as they come up higher. Air isn't going into each of the rotors at the same, like at say 2,000 RPM, up to 5,000, they start to shift. So I need to adjust as it goes up higher, make them play happier together. But I'm gonna clean up that map that we just went through and rinse and repeat, and then we'll be able to kind of do a full run up to maybe 7,000 RPM. Again, no boost, revving all the way up, and then watching what happens. Tuning each of the rotors individually, they're each doing slightly different things, and so I'm bringing them in line so that way they have the correct amount of fuel per rotor. And we can actually start doing little baby power pulls. Stumble was it going super rich, which happens when the car thinks the pedal's being pressed. Guarantee if somebody touches that alternator, it's gonna be fucking hot. That's what it was just stumbling right now. I can feel it stumbling in gear.
You can see that right there.
It also started getting a little lean. That alternator is burning up, and that's the stumble I've been hearing when driving the car. Like if I go to tune it for a while, all of a sudden you hear this drrrr. The alternator I think is fine overall, but it gets so hot it starts binding up, and I think it's gonna have problems in the future. I may have to move to a larger alternator, or I really need a better battery system too. My battery drains so quickly. This is one of the reasons I didn't go to electric power steering, is I don't want to overtax the battery and the charging system. I got some high spots, got some low spots, so now I can work those out. That was only 6,500 RPM. Hold it at like 3,000 RPM, and then I'm gonna rev it, and I want you to tell me if it shifts at all. Quickly testing timing to make sure it stayed pretty stable even as it revved, and it did. Here goes the first baby pull. I'll probably pull off as soon as things get weird. Here we go. She wants blood quickly. It has more to do with transient throttle, that as soon as I step on the pedal, it goes lean, so I'm not taking any chances. That was at 3,000 RPM, it was already at 0 pounds of boost. I let off, because what I'm seeing on the map isn't what's true. It's because I'm going through that area so quickly, it's going lean. Oh God, yeah. It was instantly ready to go. Nuts. rich, which is phenomenal. It's still so rich. Because that's so rich, it can't even read it. I can't, look at, my lambda sensor goes to 0.71.
Okay. This
This whole area is at least 15% above. That was a pretty damn solid power run. We're opening the wastegates up at about 2 PSI. Just out of curiosity, how much horse? What's that?
360.
360. Finally in a range to actually now start making power. Still at 4 pounds of boost. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hook up the wastegate controller up. Just one run to see like 8 PSI, somewhere in there. And then we'll put the springs back in and go for even more power one more time. The boost didn't change at all. Oh wait, it did. Towards the end, very little, it went up to 5. We just did 60% wastegate duty cycle. I'm gonna make sure everything's all plugged in properly, but it's blowing those springs wide open. That's how strong this thing is. So we really still, on that run, we were only a couple PSI more. Just as I expected, it went to 12 PSI, even though it's 15 PSI worth of springs. It's still opening it up, even all the way to the last second. It's just like at the last second, it can't hold enough boost, which is a wonderful problem to have. I have no idea how much power it made, but look at the numbers. Those are just all nice and slightly rich, as it should be. Right now, what's going on is we're blowing the rear tires right off, and that's exactly why I wanted all-wheel drive to begin with. It's funny that you see a rear-wheel drive 4-rotor like this. Yeah, cool, it makes power at the very last second because it can't even hold traction. So we're still in rear-wheel drive mode. We'll stay tonight in the rear-wheel drive mode. We're lowering the rear tire pressure because, like I said, those 12 pounds of boost, we can't even register how much power we're making. We're gonna hit the clutch with some brake cleaner just in case as well. It sounds amazing, everything's looking amazing, we just can't show it because of the whole reason this car exists, all-wheel drive. Blow the tires right off. We're making too much power. The turbo's really not coming on before we have to load. Yeah. Somehow still isn't registering the high-end RPM.
Because on the RPM, when you go to RPM, it's only showing about 65, 66.
Yeah.
So from 60...
And we went from 12 to 18 pounds of boost, and it's just, I mean, we lowered the tire pressure, and I'm seeing
You're talking 100 horsepower, basically.
Yeah. Facts are facts. That turbo, if this was a rear-wheel drive street car, these turbos are way too big. I would definitely go with a smaller turbo, probably 94, maybe even 88. And this would be violent all the way through, but more of a usable violent. This is turning back into the 3-rotor, but like times 10, where at the last second, it just goes nuts. We need the all-wheel drive, oddly enough, to increase the load on the car, so boost builds harder, and then you just have this vehicle ripping forward. We're spinning the tires on the dyno. We're also, the toe is flexing. I haven't looked at that in a long time. That's a concern of mine as the car's making power. The map is spot on. It's just, I've just been kind of gently caressing it as it goes, but it's spot on. And this isn't even a fake statement. We are at 1,000 horsepower with this thing. It's just not usable. It's really not usable in rear-wheel drive. It's not sputtering, it's not having any problems. We're gonna try one more run, but we're gonna use a different sensor because it's reading up to about 6,600 RPM when I'm at 8,400 RPM. Obviously, we all want the YouTube numbers, but they're already there. Now I've tuned it, it's not blowing up, we're into heavy power. The ignition, fueling, everything working wonderful. We swapped to an optical sensor, so it's actually reading the RPM not based on the dyno, but actually on the engine RPM itself. Holy shit. Oh my God, that was 20 psi. I added just a little sauce on the top of that. The numbers sadly aren't registering properly because the two rotors, the stock REW made, like I said, 150 more foot-pounds of torque. So something's up. I can feel the wheels spinning. You can see that the power graph just curves off instead of what I feel this violent increase. The logs go up, not, oh, this is gentle. We got an amazing tune out of it. The car's healthy, perfectly fine. We're just gonna have to go back to all-wheel drive. We got what we got, but all-wheel drive is what this thing was built for.
Hey guys!
Oh my God. That was
bad. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Hey,
That was still not full throttle.
Rob, how big are those tires?
Oh, they're 295s. Once this thing gets the suspension dialed in, we're finally, this is the moment. This is the actual end of the video, it is ready for the street on those clapping hand emojis. 100% for real. Yeah, there it is. There's proof. It can finally do that. That is obnoxious. I love it. I must have to stay seated because of the erection.